Welcome to the What is Stoicism podcast.
The Stoics made it a regular practice to consider and prepare for the setbacks they were likely to encounter. The rationale was simple. Hardships that are foreseen do not wound us as deeply as those that strike unexpectedly. A difficulty may still be painful, inconvenient, or unwelcome, but if we've already imagined its possibility and reflected on how we might respond, it's less likely to overwhelm us. This practice is sometimes misunderstood as a gloomy habit of expecting the worst, but approached correctly, Stoic foresight doesn't make us more anxious. In fact, it can reduce anxiety. It helps us recognize that possible future misfortunes aren't the concern of our present selves, in the same way actual present duties are. Until a difficulty arrives, it's not here. And if it does arrive, we'll meet it then with whatever resources we've prepared. The Hellenistic Jewish philosopher Philo of Alexandria described this practice of rational foresight in a very stoic way. Those who anticipate hardship, he says, don't bend helplessly under the blows of fate because they've already estimated the force of those blows in advance. Anticipation makes even terrible things lighter than they would have been if they'd arrived without warning. Such people don't treat what happens as wholly strange. Their minds have already developed a faint perception of possible difficulties, and this familiarity blunts the shock. In Philo's memorable phrase, such people, strengthened by virtue, are able to pass the whole of life as a festival. That may sound like a strange conclusion. How can people who prepare for difficulty live cheerfully? But the answer is in the preparation itself. To foresee hardship isn't to fear life, it's to meet it honestly. It's to stop pretending that wind will never come, and instead learn how to build in a way that can withstand it. To make the idea more vivid, we might think of the natural behaviour of the wolf spider. Instinctively aware that a strong wind could destroy its web, it builds between blades of grass, rather than between stones. Thanks to this foresight, future gusts don't tear the web apart. The wind may lower it with the movement of the grass, but when the gust passes, the grass rises again, and the web remains intact. This is slightly different from Philo's wording, because there's bending under the blow of fate. But crucially, there's no breaking. The wind was foreseen. When it came as no surprise, and because the spider had prepared for it, the future misfortune wasn't really a misfortune at all. It was something that could be endured. This capacity to prepare for what may come connects naturally with another Stoic attitude, acceptance of what does come. There's a beautiful poem by the 13th century poet Rumi that expresses this attitude with great simplicity. It's called The Guest House, and it begins, "This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival." Rumi describes joy, depression, meanness, dark thoughts, shame, malice, and sudden awareness as visitors arriving at the door. His advice is not to bolt the door against them, but to welcome and entertain them all, even the crowd of sorrows that sweeps the house empty of its furniture. Treat each guest honourably, he says, because each may be clearing you out for some new delight. Be grateful for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide. This isn't Stoic terminology, but it's deeply Stoic in spirit. Everything we face teaches us something. All of it guides us. It takes a wide range of weather conditions to produce a pilot who can navigate with confidence. Calm skies alone don't make an expert. Neither does a life free from setbacks make a resilient person. Fortune and misfortune are outside of our complete control, and for that reason Stoicism doesn't treat them as true goods or true evils. They're external conditions. What matters is what we do with them. If they can't be avoided, then they must be accepted. If they can be used, then they should be used well. When we learn to consent to the circumstances we can't change, when we can welcome and entertain them all, we become better able to endure their company until things settle down again. We also become better at recognizing what depends on us and what doesn't. The pilot can't change the weather. The pilot can only set the intention to do the best job possible, use the instruments available, and respond with skill. The rest must be accepted. The same is true for us. Whatever arrives at the guest house today, it's up to us to decide how we receive it. If it's something we can change, we act. If it's something we can't change, we accept it and focus on what remains within our power, our judgment, our intention, our effort, our character. In this sense, foresight and acceptance aren't opposites. They're partners. Foresight says, the wind may come, so build wisely. Acceptance says, the wind has come, so bend without breaking. Wisdom says, use the wind if you can. Marcus Aurelius captured this final point in the Meditations when he wrote that the mind can adapt and transform every impediment to action into something that serves its purpose. What first appears to hinder the task can contribute to it instead. What seems like an obstacle on the road can help us on our way. This is one of the most empowering Stoic ideas. We don't need life to arrive in ideal form before we can make progress. We don't need perfect conditions. We don't need calm weather every day. We need only the willingness to prepare for difficulty, welcome reality when it arrives, and adapt our response accordingly. If a setback comes, it need not surprise us. If a sorrow arrives, it need not defeat us. If an obstacle blocks the road, it may yet become part of the road. So today, build like the spider, receive like the host, navigate like the pilot, and whatever comes, see whether it can help you on your way.